Buenos dias from Gracia. This is the Rorschach Spain update from the 19th of December, 2024. Quick summary of what's going down in Spain. Start off with a flood update. On the 19th of December marked 50 days since the devastating floods that hit 75 municipalities in Valencia region on the Mediterranean coast. Aid deadlines were initially set for the 16th of December, but have been extended to early January. Thousands of families remain without adequate public aid, and only 4 families having received full compensation for fatalities. Volunteer efforts have supported over 60 flood victims in Paiporta, Valencia province, where administrative hurdles like outdated systems complicate applications. While flood funds still need government support, according to President Pedro Sanchez and news outlet The Economist, Spain's economy is thriving. Speaking at a Socialist Party conference early last week, Sanchez said there are around 1 million more jobs in Spain than in 2019. Experts predict that by the end of 2024, the economy will have experienced a projected growth of approximately 3% compared to last year's growth, which was just over 2.5%. Haven't said anything about where that 3 and 2.5% went, whether it was to the top quintile or was shared evenly among all of society. Tourism is also booming. Ministry of Industry and Tourism has accounted for more than 82 million international visitors in the first 10 months of 2024, around 10% higher than in 2023. Although there are parts of Spain, for example, Barcelona, that aren't too excited about ever more tourists. Immigration has also driven workforce growth as Spain's population has risen by around 1.5 million since 2021, primarily due to Latin American immigration. Next, Spain's Consumer Rights Ministry confirmed on Wednesday the 18th that there would be an investigation into Airbnb for failing to remove unlicensed rental listings, a move which aims to address housing shortages and soaring property prices. Government says that it plans to fine the housing platform over 100,000 euros for illegal ads. Airbnb is disputing this, saying officials didn't specify which listings to remove. Barcelona intensified measures in June by banning tourism rentals outright, a policy Airbnb is contesting. It seems like Spain has had enough as it joins Italy and Croatia in tightening controls on tourist rentals. Keeping with the law, fake news could soon be illegal in Spain. On Wednesday, the 18th, Felix Bolaños, Spain's justice minister, presented a bill to replace its 1984 rectification law, which targets disinformation originally spread by traditional news outlets, but will now include misinformation spread online by social media influencers and digital platforms. The new legislation will allow anyone who considers themselves a victim of misinformation to demand a correction from the author, regardless of whether that happens to be a newspaper, online, or on TV. This request isn't actioned. The case will go to court. Bolaño says it's to make it harder for those who lie and spread misinformation to do so, while also replacing outdated rules that many use to avoid these issues and not take accountability. President Sanchez, who highlighted disinformation in his Democratic Renewal Plan in April, supports the initiative emphasizing citizens' right to truthful information. Now, an update on the Catalan amnesty law, which made headlines in May 2024 that we've spoken about in previous episodes. On Tuesday, the 17th, the EU Law Live reported that Tribunal de Cuentas, the Court of Auditors, has asked the Court of Justice of the EU to review the Organic Law 1/2024. This law pardons all those involved in 2014 and 17 Catalan independence protests and referendums. Tribunal is concerned, or so it says, that parts of the law contradict EU regulations, especially the pardoning of politicians, which they argue undermines the rule of law, which states no one is above it. Also raised concerns about potential mismanagement of public funds in Catalonia with implications for EU financial interests, which is ridiculous. What makes this story so interesting is that the Catalan parties made amnesty a key condition for securing their vote, enabling President Sanchez to win his second term of office in 2023. As we come to close a chapter of 2024, Spain and India say they're looking forward to 2026 with solidified bilateral relations. Back in October, Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, met with Sanchez to make fresh agreements between the two countries. These agreements span across culture, economic, politics, with a special emphasis on 2026 as the India-Spain Year of Culture, Tourism, and AI. According to the Economic Times, this growing partnership matches the increasing number of Indian tourists visiting Spain. Their visits reflect the growing influence of India's middle class, whose increased financial independence is shaping global travel trends. As the festive holiday season comes to a close, the National Police, or Spanish Civil Guard, Guardia Civil, is launching its annual pre-Christmas campaign to combat drunk driving starting on Monday the 11th. Police checkpoints will be set up across the country and could stop people at any point in the day, targeting both major roads and the areas near bars and restaurants. Local police forces will also join the initiative. The campaign aims to reduce alcohol-related accidents, which account for around 20% of fatal crashes in 2023, according to a report on toxicological findings in the Traffic Accident Victims Report from last year. Some might say this day is unlucky, but this year on Friday the 13th, government sources revealed proposed plans to raise the minimum wage by 4% in 2025, increasing minimum full-time monthly earnings from €1,134 in 2024 to €1,180 in 2025. The adjustment would benefit over 2.5 million workers, providing an additional €635 annually to many. However, plans are still up in the air. The Ministry of Work is waiting for recommendations from a committee of experts before deciding how much wages will go up, with the decision expected just before the end of the year. 2024 has been a year of winning Spanish football. On Monday the 16th, Spain defeated Colombia 10-8 to win the Acapulco Beach Soccer Cup 2024. This final achievement of 2024 marks one of the best years for football Spain has ever had. This year, the men's national team won the UEFA Euros, achieved gold at the Olympics, not to mention the women's beach soccer team winning the Euro Winners' Cup in June. To get closer to the Spanish football culture, you can learn some popular chants, including "A por ellos, que vive España," roughly meaning "let's get them," "long live Spain," or "Hala," meaning "let's go," or "come on," or something like that. You ever been baffled by a road sign? French road sign indicating heavy fog, in use since 1967, has recently appeared on Spanish roads in a modified form, though most drivers in both countries remain unaware of its meaning. The sign, featuring black lines, which supposedly symbolize fog, requires drivers to reduce speed and increase following distances in hazardous conditions. In France, reports suggest that up to 2/3 of French drivers don't recognize it. Meanwhile, in Spain, the sign has been adjusted so that more road users can understand its meaning, supposedly. If you want to check out the sign, link in the show notes. Now for something a little revealing. On Sunday the 15th, Spain hosted its first nudist cinema screenings ever at the Lis Cinema in Girona, Northern Catalunya. Around 50 attendees watched the 2023 horror film You Are Not Me, or Tú No Eres Yo, while seated on towels. The initiative stemmed from the Valencian Naturists Association, whose members participated as extras in the film. Compared to many other countries, Spain in particular has a relaxed attitude towards nudity, both culturally and legally. It's one of the only countries that doesn't have a national law that prohibits public nudity. Still, local entities have some rules about it. However, still pretty normal to see partial nudity at the beach during the summer and full nudity on Spain's many nudist beaches. Wrapping up this show, Granada in southern Andalusia has claimed the title of having Spain's tallest Christmas tree, standing at 57 meters, equivalent to a 20-story building around 2,200 inches, or 56 meters. It's located at the Nevada Shopping Center in Armilla, just outside of Granada, visible from a bunch of high spots in Granada, and even from the Sierra Nevada mountains. In the south, the tree will remain until Three Kings Day on the 6th of January, which is a big deal in Spain. Nevada Shopping says that it is the tallest Christmas tree in Europe, though this has not yet been verified by anybody other than the Nevada Shopping Center. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Did you know that if you listen to us on Spotify, you can leave comments or questions within the episode? There's a comment box right there. The comments are private by default, and we will not publish them. If you want us to get back to you, put your email address, and we'll write you back. Love to hear from you. Hasta la próxima.